So you can see hopefully now the pannier tank where we left it at the last session where we had the body done. So what we're going to look at this time now is detailing the top of it. So what I've got there is just to show you is that the left hand, the first picture is an actual pannier tank, complete with hairs off my dusting brush, I'm afraid. The center is the sketch that we're going to produce to create that top detail, and the right hand one is showing it screen grab from Fusion, which I then put on an angle there because on that one because it's flat on, you really can't see the detail. So what we're going to start looking at now is getting this top detail on, the chimney, the dome, the fountain, and the little bits and pieces, which is more or less the same technique that I used before. And then in Fusion, let's bring up our sketches. So the first thing we do is to produce our sketch. Now, I'm not going to go through drawing this sketch. I think most of you know how to do sketches by now. So what we've got there, you can see we've got these little bits here, which are the small little grab rails that are on the front. We've got the pipe work there, which is drawn in a curve with radiuses, and we've got these little things here that go up. If I just switch the body on a moment so that we can see, we haven't got there yet. Okay, forget the body because that'll come later. We got the funnel bit over here, we got the dome, and we got the fountain at the back. And hopefully that is clear. I'll just switch back so you can see to this one a moment. So you can see the sort of detail there. We've got these little grab rails at the front, and the pipe work, and the filler, water tank filler holes there, fountain, dome, and the funnel. So then we go on from here now. So the next stage will be, let's get the bodies on. Let me just change our angle. So the first stage there was to pull out the dome. Now I've done this, you may notice on there initially, I've got a small circle in the middle, and that will become apparent why I've got it there. So we extrude this dome in the first instance. Then we extrude the small one in there to come out here, and you'll see why in a moment, as it were. Change the color to green, and then I push it down so that we've got this little dimple on the top of the dome that we need. Then we add the curve at the bottom. If you remember, that's highlight it and use the fillet command, which then gives you that curve at the bottom where it joins the bodywork. Then I brought it down a bit because I had it too high, and bring the little dimple down as well. And then that's where I added another sketch. And then that sketch was at this end one here. So there we extruded out. So we've got this curved bit then ready to put the funnel on. Then we extrude out the funnel from the sketch that we had. And then we've added another sketch on there. Let me just switch the sketch on. You can see there what I've added now. I've gone on the top of the funnel, turn that off, selected that, and drawn a sketch on there of a couple of concentric rings. That allows me then to extrude down and create the actual funnel, which we'll just go in and have a closer look at that. You can see now how the funnel is starting to take shape from those rings. And we can put the curve on. You can see there we've got the curve underneath it, the lip. And then we've got another lip as well, which is that big one under there. Again, using the radius tool, and bring the center bit up a little bit more to what you want. And then you put the chamfer on the dome. I'll just go back one. That's a pure chamfer command. Again, highlighting that and using the fillet command, and that will give you your dome up there. So so you can see how we've created the dome and the funnel. Hopefully, we're moving on from there now. And now we create our raised platform at the back here. And we have a sketch that we need to put on there to start creating our fountain. We add a fillet all around the edge. That's the fountain gone in. I'll just show you that again, how I did it. Let's switch the sketch on. Which sketch is it? That sketch there. So this is where I did a sketch now at right angles to this one. And we use the revolve tool to revolve that around. So if we go up there, that's the revolve tool. So there's the sketch, which is at right angles to the original, to this plate, as it were. And then use the revolve tool to revolve it around. And then again, like on the funnel, we use a number of the fillets to fillet at the bottom, fillet round all this plate, and then we have another sketch that we've added to add some bits down here. And then we start to extrude out again. Let's get back on, because that was some of the back bit. This is parts of that we don't use. Got so many bits here. This is all the bottom bits that we looked at last week, which I'm just skipping over for the moment. Let me just go a bit quicker there. I should have done this bit separately, really. There you can see now we've picked back up. I've skipped over the bits that we done last week, basically. So what we're going to do now is extrude out our pipework, as it were. In that way there, you can see that's now extruded out. And it's got a square edge, so we'll need to put a fillet on that edge after we've extruded it all out all the way round. And we've extruded all these up as well. And we keep extruding all the bits that are there. Then we start putting the fillets on. Got a fillet on that one we just put on. And dome off these little pegs here. Put a little dome on them with the fillet command again. And again now on this one, you notice what we've done is what we done last week, is that we had the two parts here. So we extruded the inner one up to that level. Then the outer one we extruded to the top, but with an offset. So we use this sketch to create this top bit in the same way as I showed you last week to do, or 2 weeks ago. And then we put a fillet on them as well. Nice curvy bit to make it look tidy. And then we put the little blocks on, which represent the hinges. So you've got a block there and a block there. This is like the little clip. And then we got the hinge on that side, which we extend down. And you can see there now where we've extended it down. And put a fillet on just to tidy it up there. And the same on that one. Let's go back and show you that one again. So we've got it there. So we actually pick the underside of it and just extrude it down a bit, and then we can fillet it to make it look round. I think that, oh, we got the other bit then. We need to put a hole in here. So again, on this one, we highlight that and we put a sketch on there, which we can then extrude a hole down. And then we've got our 3 little dots at the end here with a wind guard, as it were. And you can see now we pull those up along with the wind guard. And then bring them down so they look about right. And again, use the fillet command to put a bit of fillet on it. And I've hit the wrong button again. Now I may be going through this a bit too quick, and so therefore I'll go into greater detail with individual questions. The idea is not necessarily to spend the whole evening showing you how to draw fillets and lines, but how I've gone about creating the detail on the top of this pannier from simple sketches and using extrude and fillets a lot. Oh look, it's going a second time. I must have pressed it twice. Sizes I've not done either. You'd have to work out your own sizes for the model that you're going to do. But I'm hoping that what I'm showing you is more of the workflow and the technique to achieve it rather than the detail. All the fusion commands that we've used, we've covered before, and they're all on the websites anyway in various places. So I didn't want to spend time in drawing in that sense. Let's see. I think that's as far as we go, because the rest of it then is for a further week. So if I just turn off the sketch, you can see now you've got the detail.